Hello, today I'm joined by Jon Higgins, our company director, and we're going to talk through all things Shooting Stars and the journey. So
Hello.
hi, Jon.
Hello.
So tell me about your vision from the very start. When did it start created in your mind?
So I remember our eldest son was 6 months old. Um, so that was about 17 years ago.
Wow.
And we looked round a local nursery, me and Holly, and we looked round, and I was a bit surprised at how poor it was. And so I thought, we can do this better. Surely
Yeah.
we can do this better. So literally came from that. And then we went away, and Holly said, "Why don't you then?" And I was like, okay. So we started trying to find the right place and build a real quality nursery for, well, in the first instance, my own child, but
Yeah.
then for a number of other children who later came and joined our first nursery.
So how quickly did you find Stourbridge then? Stourbridge was
Uh,
2009, wasn't it?
yeah,
So
so we found it in 2008 after a few months of looking. We didn't necessarily know or prefer it to be in Stourbridge, but that's where we thought the property was best
yeah,
suited when it came available. We bought it in 2008 and started refurbishing it, and then opened in September 2009.
amazing. So how quickly do you think your vision came to life in that process and you started to visualize a future?
Um, it, yeah, so it was always the intention to do more than one, um, if we were going to go in and do it.
Yeah,
Um, and then I suppose it was the staff who we brought on board and their vision in terms of the quality, because my knowledge was probably limited at the time,
just
still is,
fatherhood, early fatherhood.
apart from being a father. And again, everything that we did, it was in the mind of what would I want my child to experience at this setting. And then in terms of the curriculum and the childcare side of stuff, that was driven from staff that came on board really, and they helped drive it. I suppose
Mm,
my job in those early days was to set the expectation in terms of uh, how high we wanted to get to,
yeah,
and the quality that we wanted to achieve. Um, I was more on the uh, building side and getting that done, and organising that, and then the staff who came on board early were driving the childcare side of stuff.
and lots of those staff are still with us now, aren't they?
Yeah, which is
So
amazing. Helen, for example, who started as a nursery nurse, worked all the way up and is now manager at our Stourbridge
yeah,
nursery.
it's
And
incredible.
she's had a bit of a journey around various different sites, but that's really, really,
Do you
really
think you
good.
could have visualized that back in the day?
No,
That
no,
you would
no,
have
no,
still
no,
had
no,
no?
no, not at all. It's what we really wanted, but you
Yeah,
never know how the future's going to go in
no.
terms of, you know, what that looks like for us as a business or the staff that come and join us. But to see that, and we've had a number of people who've come through our apprentice scheme, that's really amazing.
Yeah,
I
you
love that.
must really feel
That
proud about that.
yeah, that's the stuff. That is
Yeah,
what it's all about, really. Yeah, I know we look after a huge amount of children, and but for me to see the quality of what our staff deliver on a day-to-day basis
absolutely. I
is what
think
it's all about.
it does feel such pride to have us facilitate so many career journeys, and
Yeah,
we see it time and time
yeah,
again, don't we? These success rates, which is
absolutely,
fantastic.
absolutely.
So we talk about vision in the company, but what do you want most to shine through for families, children, and your team?
Um, I would say, oh, you've put me on the spot. um, um, I suppose the quality of childcare. So, what does that look like? How do we get to that? For me, there's a lot of little things which enable that to happen. So,
Mm,
I'll go back to the building itself. How can we present a building which is looks and feels lovely for starters, but is safe, easy for our staff to use, in terms of, so they're maximising quality time with the children in the room, and then going on to our staff team. What does that look like? You know, are they passionate? You know, that's key. I want us all to be really passionate about
Yeah.
it, and and then trying to get that enthusiasm going in terms of career progression, which is not for everybody, but you know, if we can allow our staff to progress up the career sort of ladder,
Yeah.
really, within our company, we much prefer that rather than
Yeah.
going elsewhere.
Yeah.
To then actually, if they've got those building blocks right at the start from apprentice or induction when they join us, then if they then go on and manage a setting, then those are still in place and they're able to
Absolutely.
pass
Yeah.
that forward,
Yeah.
pass it on to other staff members.
Yeah.
Don't know whether I answered that question or
No,
not.
no, that's perfect. And what do you say you'd love most about you being the director of Shooting Stars and creating the company?
There's a lot of things I love about it. Um, it can be stressful at
Yeah.
times, but what I do really enjoy is, I suppose there's two things. There's one thing is, because I'm heavily involved, no 2 days are the same. So one day might be having a meeting about with the bank about funding and stuff like that, which might be quite important. Then other days I might just unblock a toilet if I'm there, which I don't mind doing. So I suppose it's the variety of it. And then on the other side of it, I really enjoy our staff team in terms of almost I don't know how to sort of being there to support them in terms of
It's a
their
very
working life.
hands-on company, aren't
Yeah,
we? With very hands-on.
and you know, I love our staff team being able to provide for the children,
Yeah.
and I think if we can produce a fantastic staff team who are keen, enthusiastic, passionate about the company, about what they do, then the childcare is going to be amazing for
Yeah,
the children. And
absolutely.
that's where I go with it.
Yeah.
Really.
So year on year, we see so many families return to us with siblings. So how does that make you feel? Is that an indicator to you that, you know, we've got it right?
Yeah, and you know, that's certainly what we want to try and do, is get it right, and have returning families means that we're doing a lot of stuff right. Don't always get it right, you know,
Yeah.
but we're open and honest enough to put our hands up and try and improve and stuff. But to see siblings come through, I think we even had a child who started with us at our first nursery, who then became an apprentice, I think, at
That's
some point,
amazing,
which is scary. But yeah, to see returning families, word of mouth, recommendations
Yeah.
is what is really it really fills me with a lot of
Yeah.
pride.
Absolutely. So we're currently sat inside Technol,
Yep.
your newest adventure,
Our newest
and create.
adventure.
Thank you. So tell me about the early days of Technol, finding the building.
Yeah, so it came up at the start of around, I think it was the end of January 2025. It popped up for sale. I managed to see it come up for sale and tried to arrange the viewing, and there were some complications in and around the owner in their personal life, so they didn't know when the viewings were going to happen. But I was quite persistent, and so in the end managed to squeeze in on a cold early February evening, at about 7:30, 8:00, and look round an empty, cold building. And yeah, but as soon as you came, it was you just know that I know what we can produce at the end of it.
Yeah.
I needed a lot of work for it to produce, like I said earlier, in terms of making it as easy for the staff team to do their job within the rooms, and making the environments perfect for the children and stuff. But I could see straight away it's a beautiful building. It's very light and airy, and so it was just a case of can we get the sale done. In terms of there were other people interested, we'd already done all the research in terms of it, so we feel like it was going to be successful. So it was just a case of getting it done and managed to get it over the line.
Did you ever think it would happen so?
No, it happened quite quickly, didn't it? Really, and then we ended up getting the keys in May, which was actually slightly later than we had hoped. But then Pete and the rest of the team came in June and hit it really hard and managed to turn it round by the end of the year, which was amazing, really.
It's been such an exciting project, hasn't it?
Yeah, and they've done it's a fantastic building now.
And we've got children currently exploring the environments and everything.
That's just, when you saw it, a few months ago, it does seem it does seem like a long way off, but it is so nice to see children and parents enjoying the space.
Yeah. Your unique selling point around your vision for the building stands out, doesn't it? So are you excited to continue to find these glorious spaces to create?
Yeah. I mean, and I won't bore you too much, otherwise people will be falling asleep. But probably for every building we do find, we probably turn down around 50 odd. So we do think we're quite picky, and I'm quite proud to be picky and not settle on stuff. So sometimes these things come around once every X amount of years. Sometimes 2 will come in a year, and if that happens, you just got to find a way to get it done. Which can be even more stressful. But so they don't come around very often for what we're looking for. So I'm always looking. Part of my job is to keep growing and find additional sites which we see or we think that fit for purpose, but also not doing it in a silly, stupid, fast way where you can put the whole business under undue pressure and impact the other sites.
Absolutely, it's really considerate way of working, and it's just exciting to know that the growth is going to come and it's going to continue. And
for sure.
You're on your 7th site now.
So we're excited about this, and you and the team have done a fantastic job kitting it out, and we'll be looking for another site.
Lovely. So another thing that I think is really obvious about you, Jon, is you're very passionate about garden space and ensuring that gardens are there for the children's learning. And the nursery here was a little bit smaller than you typically find, and actually you've taken a lot of time to consider the space. So tell us about your passion around garden. Garden environment.
I suppose I'm a kid as well, really, so I like playing outside. I certainly did as a boy growing up, and seeing my own children, I think it's important, and I think if we can create spaces that can be used all year round, I think that's something that that is something that we want to do and deliver. And again, with this space was a little bit more tricky because the site is slightly smaller than maybe some of our other sites. So what we wanted to try and do was create a space in a more sort of compact area where we could get everything that we wanted to get into, and would allow the children to be out there, whatever the weather and whatever the age. And so we enlisted a specialist company to come in, and if you see the pictures, it's amazing. And then we also wanted to create a bespoke baby garden, which is absolutely fantastic.
It's beautiful.
I mean, it's bigger than I thought it was. So obviously I can't read a plan very well, but it is absolutely fantastic, and it gives the babies in a real safe and secure it's massive environment that they've got sole use of.
And actually they're going to be able to free flow in and out freely at ease in all weathers, aren't they? Which is just incredible.
So that took a little bit of work to work out how we were going to create that space, but we managed to get it in just off the baby garden, so they're perfect.
Amazing. And going back to when you were creating the business and as time went by, so was there a time you remember that you realised you were getting it right? Anything that stands out to you?
Well, I suppose uh, doing this job, you have to be very positive, and I'm always quite positive about stuff. So I always believe we were doing it right, but you never really know, and you still get that um, apprehension from, you know, buying a building because you're investing so much money. Uh, is this going to work? Right through to kitting it out, and then you open, and our children going to come, and so there's always that apprehension, but I think it comes back really to basics that if we provide fantastic childcare, then children will come, and I do believe we get it right. Like I said, we always can be better. And
thinking back to my interview stage a couple of years ago, what shone through from just meeting you and my colleague Tracy was children at the centre of every choice. And if we do that and everyone understands that that's what we're about truly, then we will always start from the greatest place and end in the greatest place.
Absolutely. And when we, as we know, when we speak to managers and stuff, it is all about the children, putting them first. There's always a business side of stuff, so we have to counterbalance that. But 100%, if you go in with that vision of children come first, then can't be too far wrong.
A couple more things. I won't keep you much longer. Again, thinking back to my interview and as I started to learn about the company, what I was really impressed with is the staff clinics that you offer. So you personally take time out to go and meet staff in all of the nurseries. So why does that matter so much to you?
I think there's a couple of things. I think it's important that staff, although we go and visit, you more than me, but when I come on your visits, staff can come and talk to us, and they know that. But actually, quite often they don't. Whereas if you have an organised staff clinic, and we've gone through various versions of this where it was optional, so people could come and visit, I ended up sat there on my own for the day, or what we do now, where we have sort of 5-minute windows where each staff member will come up and we have a little chat about just anything work-wise, personal life-wise. They can ask me questions, but I think what you end up doing is something which might be just quite insignificant to the staff member, or just little things that might happen or annoy them, or can't understand why we do something. You can explain it straight away, and then it either gets sorted by, I don't know, they need a new tablet or something, something really
trivial,
or we can explain a reason why we do a thing a certain way, or why we want to keep this paperwork, and it just helps them feel part of the family, which I think
part of the decision making,
absolutely,
and thought processes,
and having their opinion is really important to how we shape this nursery we sat in today, which is our newest one, which is different again from our last one. It's the same, but it's moved on.
It's got character,
and you just learn a little bit more. And these clinics are really important for finding out little nuggets of information or things that we might not quite be getting right as an employer. Just how we can improve their work balance in terms of so that they can provide the best childcare.
Amazing. And then Christmas party is quite infamous in Shooting Stars. So how does that feel for you as a director, seeing everyone sort of enjoy themselves all in one space? It never happens unless it's Christmas. They're enjoyable.
Well, we start planning it soon. And there's a huge amount of work leading up to it in terms of getting the venue, getting it set up, and I don't pretend I do a huge amount of that, but there is a huge amount of decision making to be made leading up to it. They are fantastic events, and we want people to come and enjoy themselves, and it's a little thank you from us to them, and where they can let their hair down. And yeah, it's great to see everybody in one space enjoying themselves, the interaction between teams. Yeah. So do I enjoy it? Of course
You
I
do
enjoy
deep
it.
down, yeah.
Of course I enjoy it.
Giving out the awards.
Yeah, no, and that's great. I mean, look, they don't want to hear me rabbit on or whatever, but it's really nice to set some awards and recognise some people.
Yeah.
We could give more out as we talk every year.
Yeah.
Do we only have to give one award for this category? Because there's so many people that are deserving of it, but you have to make a call, and it's great to show the recognition in front of our whole staff team.
Yeah.
And yet we'll be doing one again at the end of this year,
2026.
Yeah. So we're just having a look at venues at the moment.
Yeah. Lovely.